How about Silent Hill 2? Everyone loves Silent Hill 2. Where's the any button? Okay. That wasn't like a bit. I was pressing it like it wasn't starting. I pressed like all the buttons and was getting fucking jack shit. I alt-tabbed the game and like went back in and that fixed it, but it was not accepting my input there for a moment. Mad at me. You need to cherry every... I'm not going to cherry every UFO 50 game, I can tell you that for free. Mainly because some of them are fucking bad. But also, it's just hard. UFO 50 is a hard game. I feel like that's actually its biggest flaw. Like, every new game I try, I'm like, I can tell you guys made Spelunky, but you don't have to do that to, like, every genre. Like, sometimes you don't gotta be like that.
I disagree.
This is gonna be the best world record ever.
Glackham, thanks for the 4 months of Prime Gaming. The hard equals good. See, you know, I appreciate a healthy challenge sometimes, but I need to be in the mood. And the thing about UFO 50 is that, like, all 50 of the games are quite hard. And it, like, wears you down after a while. And especially there's a dearth of continues across the collection in you. Like, most games don't offer a continue function. It's like, that's not even period appropriate a lot of the time. Like, a lot of games had continues. I would argue most of them did. They check for this for the fact that most of them aren't that long. But still. Half the time I play UFO 50, I'm like, wow, the boundless wonders of unrestrained creativity, the endless potential of the medium, the beautiful game. And the other half of the time, I'm like, fuck you, Derek.
Hello?
Spelunky fucking sucks.
Anyone
Go away.
here?
That's like my experience playing UFO 50. Even though Derek didn't actually have anything to do with, like, maybe half the games in the collection. I think the weakest element of UFO 50 by far is the shmups. I don't get the impression that Mossmouth et al. Are that familiar with the genre. I feel like there's, like, an omnipresence of kind of mediocre shmups in UFO 50, just on the basis that it was a common retro game genre, so they felt the need to include them, and I'm like, I don't feel like you guys, like, play that many of them, though. Like, Caramel's got kind of a unique gimmick, although it's got really fucked up scoring. Star Whisper is awful. I wouldn't play that if it were free. I have no idea what the idea behind that one was. And then you got Campanella, which is weird, collectively. Arguably not even a shmup, the first couple. But Campanella 3 sure is. Whereas, by comparison, the platformers, I feel like they're much more at home in that genre. Like, it's just it's a genre they have more creative ideas about, because they make platformers. They're platform guys. So that, like, that checks out. I have played Spelunky. I didn't stick with it for very long. I don't know. Forwardly not my kind of thing.
Hey, wait.
Somewhat cynically... Oh, not even cynically, this is just true. Somewhat cynically, I would say that, you know, games like that... I'm less into games that disguise their brevity by being very high difficulty. And I mean, a lot of retro games are like that, and UFO 50 consequently is also like that. The average clear time of a UFO 50 game is like 20 minutes.
Hello?
But the exchange is that they're often quite hard. I know, that's retro games. The other thing that's strange about UFO 50, I'm yapping, we're entering yapping mode here. Look forward to this on the yapping channel in the future. The other thing that's strange about UFO 50 is that it really prizes the mystique of playing an unknown retro game with no manual, and that very few of the games, like, explain themselves that well.
Stay back.
Like, the beautiful days where... It feels like it speaks to the very specific experience of picking up, like, a bootleg multi-card, or downloading a bunch of random ROMs and playing them on an emulator without, like, looking at the manual or anything. Whereas, as someone who can both read Japanese and does read manuals, retro games are actually not that mysterious half the time. Half the time, the culprit of retro game mystique is from Americans losing the fucking manuals. And sometimes the American version just having bad manuals in the first place. This is an experience probably best exemplified by, like, The Legend of Zelda 1. Ooh, a Zelda, ooh! But, like, there is a massive difference in usability in that game if you have the manual. Okay, other example. Grimstone is the full-length JRPG that is included in UFO 50, right? And it's not half bad, although I think it's kind of annoying that it makes you do a timed button press for every attack, and you can still randomly miss one or the other, pal. But anyway, items and equipment and skills, rather, they don't fucking tell you what any of them do until you try them and just see. Like, there's no description tab for anything. And I'm like, this is kind of below par even by the standards of RPGs from the 90s. Like, they had invented the description box by that point. But okay, like, you know, it's emulating, like, really early Dragon Quest, which didn't tell you what any of the spells did. But, like, really early Dragon Quest didn't not tell you what the spells did for, like, the mystique. They didn't tell you what the spells did because the game fits into fucking 50 kilobytes of ROM space. Every letter counts, man. So they offload that responsibility to the manual. You look at the manual, it tells you what the spells do. Whereas I feel like I should be able to check, like, an in-game manual to confirm what some of the things in that game do, and there just isn't one, you know? You just have to figure it out. And I chafe against that. That is an experience that they have replicated that I feel will resonate strongly with the kinds of people who did, in fact, play a lot of retro games without looking at the manual. But it's an experience I chafe against because when I play retro games, I go out of my way to, like, find the original material. To read the manual. To get the context. Like, reading the manual is key. I have spent many hours yapping defending Resident Evil Gaiden because a vast majority of complaints that people have about that game are caused by not reading the manual. Where do I go? What do I do? I don't know where these crazy... How are you supposed to know which enemies have keys? That's what the fucking glowing exclamation mark in the corner means, man. That's why it's there. But you wouldn't know that unless you read the manual. supposed to read the manual. So like when games are designed around you trying things and figuring out by yourself, then you'll love UFO 50. You really will. Like, there's a bunch of games in UFO 50 that are just like that, not, like, just on purpose, you know? Like, they're obtuse on purpose. They're obtuse on purpose, and the whole joy of figuring out how they function, like, is the gameplay. And that's not, like, bad when I feel like the game is designed around it. I really like, Mortal 2 from UFO 50. You get 99 lives, and you must destroy the evil heart. How'd you get to the evil heart? Figure it out, dipshit. The game explains what the different character abilities do. It's a game where every character has, like, a special ability that also kills them when they use it. But, like, you have 99 lives to, like, create a path to the end and win. But how you get there? You're just kind of dropped in the world with these characters and these abilities, and the game just kind of shrugs and goes, your problem now, man. And I'm like, okay. It's not a game you finish on your first. It explains, I feel, just enough about what you're doing and how you control it, and the rest of it is just like this big puzzle box. Figure it out. Make it happen. I like it. Interesting. That is an example of, like, hiding information in a way that feels... I don't know, warranted. Like, it makes the game more interesting for the absence of, like, a complete... If it told you, go here to hit the switch and do the thing, it's like, well... I don't know, man. Maybe I would have liked to have found that out myself. Whereas things like obscuring spell information in the RPG is just like, that's just not how these original games, like, worked, man. It was in the manual. Like, sure, if you didn't read the manual, you just had to figure it out, but, like, it was in the manual. Those games offloaded a lot of their description to the manual in service to limited capacity. But this is why, as the technology evolved, games stopped doing that. Like, people didn't start including item descriptions and spell descriptions in RPGs because, oh shit, we didn't think that that might be useful to have. It's because you couldn't fit all the fucking text inside the ROM. It's the same reason a lot of old Japanese games don't use, like, kanji, and then as soon as they had the ability to use kanji, they never went back to the old style. Like, they weren't not using kanji for fucking stylistic reasons, it was a technical limitation. Makes that shit hard to read, man. So that's me yapping about UFO 50. It's a game I like quite a bit, but also it makes me cross. I've finished 15 out of 50 games now. 15. 1-5 out of 50. Which is apparently a lot more than most people. Say that even with the technology 9% Japanese games do is west and left to right writing rather than right to left or vertical text. Yeah, but vertical...
Hello?
Japanese isn't written left to right.
Anyone there?
Sorry, the posters confused me. Japanese... Hang on, we have to establish this. Japanese isn't written left to right. Like right to left, rather. Sorry. Like, you don't, like, when you write Japanese horizontally, it is read left to right. You don't read it right to left. The sentence isn't, like, backwards. Books and page order, left to right. Books and page order are right to left, yeah, but when the text is written horizontally, you don't read it right to left. Like, the sentences are left to right. Books are often written vertically right to left, like it goes top to bottom, right to left. But the words, when they're written horizontally, they're still read left to right. Japanese is flexible like that.
What's a kid doing?
Honestly, I think every novel I own is written top down, right to left. But most manga I own and a couple of books I've got that use a... To be blunt, a couple of books that are intended for younger readers, as I have the relative diction of a 9-year-old when I speak Japanese, tend to be written horizontally left to right. But the pages still go right, which is a bit confusing, but it is what it is. I know vertical writing is seen as more complicated or something, even though it's not. Like, it's the same language. But, I mean, I find it harder because I'm not used to it. You gotta learn to scan up and down. I don't know, it's just different. It's a little, I'm not used to it. Gotta get used to it. Such things, they are how they are, you know? Smell you later. I hit space to dodge. God damn it. Too late for the game's liking. I scrolled my notes up. I scrolled too far. Fuck. Why are you reloading? You fucking asshole. Hate that. I don't even be hitting the reload button. He just does that. Can you speak everyone speaking from the crypt this week? Not to my knowledge, no. I'm not scheduled. Something about it is prompting it to like automatically reload despite me not hitting the reload button, and I don't know why. I guess I should find a space to reload. There's time for it after all. Why? Playing Silent Hill Origins over here or something? What's with the fucking QTE grabs?
Hey, who's there?
Ah. I have no health drink. This is so sad. Grab one on the stairs? I didn't grab nothing. Inquire if I'm into shmups? Somewhat. I don't consider myself like a genre expert or anything. It's not like a specialty of mine. But I've played a handful. Some old, some new. Probably the series of shmups I have played the most is unfortunately Toho. Not that they're bad, but just it's sort of like the traditional answer, you know? Treetrex, thank you for the raid. Do I have a favorite Toho? Like, as in the game? Sure, Imperishable Night. I'm out of there. Hope you had a good stream, dude. Thanks for the raid. Does James run slower on low health? He doesn't know. Mercifully, run speed is the same regardless of health counter, so... No, the bad game. Why you gotta do that to me? Punished for trying to get the syringe. Should have just gone through. Should have just gone through. Now, I have never played Ketsui. What am I doing? This way. I have played Excluder and one of the Dodon patches, but like I don't fucking remember which one. I played it like at an arcade. It's like, what fucking game did I play again? I don't know. Fuck you, bitch! God damn it! I pressed dodge again as well. My dodges keep getting like stuffed in their like startup frames. Wait, Zero Ranger? I have not. What a deluge! I have not played the new Atlas game, no. I would like to play Metaphor Fantasio. But there have been problems with this. Firstly, I still haven't finished Persona 3 Reload. And I'm not really gonna spend $70 on a new video game before I finish me old game. Behave yourself. Here's the thing, I'd be able to stream the Metaphor Fantasio game. Unfortunately, the vast majority of the people who watch the stream will not watch me play a JRPG. It happened again. Fuck this dumb game. Why does that keep happening? Why can that even happen at all? Fix your fucking game, Bloober. Yeah, man, stare at the health drink. And so to try one of the mods with better performance on the Nexus? No. There's no point. I got it stable enough to be able to do runs. That is good enough for me for now. The rest is, like, not my problem. Move. Why? Who the fuck asked you? No, game, let me do the thing. This keeps happening to me. Yeah, I don't want to fuck her out with trying to, like, mod the game to get it to run properly when it should, like, that's not my problem. That's not a thing I should have to do. I cannot be bothered to do that, and so I will not. Missing less screamy James today. Is the speed movement too risky to bother aside from the final hallway? It's more that I've come to the conclusion that it's only worth it if you can chain like 3 or 4 of them. So outside of long hallways, you don't really have a lot of opportunity to do it, and even then, the gain is very, very minimal. What? What the fuck? Game sucks. 582 apparently. I always get like the right numbers, but never in the right order. The problem for the speedrun community, modding a game that have better performance? In some contexts, yes. I think in the case of Silent Hill 2 Remake, we've agreed it's okay because the game is such a fucking mess that it's kind of the only way to have it be playable. Even though I actually am not using any mods. Because I don't feel like it. Performance is bad. Just don't buy the game until they fix it. Fuck doing mods. Fuck dealing with mods and that shit. How about they just like... How about they just make the game work? No, don't push me. No, don't push me. Don't push me. Whoa, almost got owned. Fuck you, stupid pushing bitch. No! Quick! Grab ammo! Grab that other ammo! Hey! Fuck face. I actually lost time because of that. Motherfucker trying to swing at me. I mean, okay, I care about the frame rate. I think it's embarrassing that a game releasing in 2024 cannot consistently hit 60. Like, it's the inconsistency that's the real issue. It wavers up and down at random. Like, it just cannot consistently hold on to a frame rate. And that's, like, bad. You know, the original Silent Hill 2 ran at 30 FPS. But it ran at consistent 30 FPS. Punchy, the PS5 version runs at consistent 30. No, it don't. No, it don't. It's still pretty chunky even on that.
This is it.
But even so, game from 2001. This is one aspect where we can definitely do better. We can get to 60. But no, we can't. Because modern games suck.
Let's go.
This place we're going to, what is it exactly?
It used to be kind of a special place for young couples in these parts. I think it's easier if I just show you. There, we can go through the motel.
Jack's in? Better than Jack's off, I guess.
You ever stayed in a place like this? The walls are so thin, you can hear everything. Hate, jealousy.
Oh my god, how did you miss that shot, James?
A dud!
What do you mean a dud? It was great. I'll have you know. My jokes are premium. They cost extra.
So that's what it was for. Yay. Down this way.
Must be on drugs.
I get no respect
So-
around here.
James. 3 years. That's a long time. What will you tell her if, when you find her?
That I love her.
Oh, then. Lucky her. James?
Stay close.
Okay.
A solution a lot of people have been using to get stable performance out of Silent Hill 2 Remake is apparently AI frame generation, which I didn't even realize was a technology that existed. Like, the games can't even be bothered to make their own fucking frames now? You gotta get the AI to generate them for you? I'll show you a frame. My ass. What the fuck is this shit? Why do we need this bullshit? Just make the frames.
Let me know when you want to move on.
Yeah, that's what I mean. No, I mean AI frame. I meant what I said, not the other thing.
Come on.
Generate, because you can't get fucking 60 FPS out of it. They generate the intermeaning frames. Like, what the fuck? We can't even get there ourselves?
We shouldn't have stayed here this long.
What a bunch of shit.
Hey, it's okay. We're almost there anyway.
Good. No more delays. I need to find Mary.
Well then, let's hope you will.
We can't even be bothered to make the frames ourselves now?
Okay, it's not far now.
We gotta get the AI to make the frames? Nah, bro. That's not it. I'm not here for it. I didn't realize how fucked up
Look,
modern games were.
We're
That,
on
like,
the other side of that
they gotta
chasm.
do all kinds of bullshit to
detour.
pretend to hit 60. Like, holy hot damn.
That's it? A garden?
There's a bit more to it than that.
If you say so. I don't think I've been here before.
Come on.
Back in my day, PC games just
She?
ran at that frame rate, the frame rate you wanted. You know, you told them, give me 144 frames, and they were like, you got it, chief. Have some frames. And it was simple. It was a simple life. You got the frame. Whereas now, apparently we're trying to do things that the hardware just genuinely can't do, so we have to come up with all kinds of bullshit to fake it. It's like, well, if we can't do it, maybe we just shouldn't do it. Maybe we just shouldn't do that, you know? What are we doing here? Terrible. Not a fan. Back in my day. I'm down on it. I'm big down on it. Back in Penulous, this was not the case. You asked for frames and got 25. Yeah. Maybe if you... on your shitty Pentium computer, but on my Master Drive.
Laura?
This is yapping. This is pure yapping. I do think it is a bit fucked up that, like, we need all kinds of bullshit techniques to, like, fake hitting what games would just used to do normally, you know? Like, what is going on there? That doesn't seem great.
Laura,
You'd never get these problems on the FM Towns Mardy. You just wouldn't. You would never even think of it.
Maria?
It's all Unreal Engine 5 fault, by the way. The thing is that I don't know enough about game... I hear a lot of hate for the Unreal Engine off the back of how a lot of the games that use it have terrible performance, and I am not going to pretend to know enough about computers or game engineering to definitively state that I agree with that. However, it sure does seem like everything I play that runs like garbage runs on UE5.
Where did she
You know, I don't know what the cause is, but I can definitely determine the symptom.
I don't know.
FM Towns Marty mentioned automatic sub. Thanks, Dew Slammer.
Basement.
Thank you very much.
couldn't get any creepier?
It's the FM Towns Marty. Is your PC specs good? Yeah, I got like a 3070 Ti in this thing. It's not like the best computer money can buy.
Why would she run from this?
But you need a pretty good computer to stream. And yeah, Deadly Premonition 2 runs on Unity. Deadly Premonition 2's performance issues are not related to its choice of engine. I don't know what the fuck is going on with Deadly Premonition 2. Just... that otherworldly shit is going on with that. That game is, I think, literally cursed.
Generator.
You think you could get it?
No, it's approaching. It's Oh, and there's a second guy. No, that's great. Hey, man, can you move?
Hey,
Alright, well that, smelled bad. Blimey. Yeah, I don't know what it is about, like, I'm not gonna pretend to understand at all what the fuck is going on with, like, everyone thinks they know what's going on with Unreal Engine 5, it's like, oh, it's the lumen, it's the thing, it's the traversal stutter. I don't know what that doesn't sound real to me, for what it's worth, that sounds fake.
let's check out that elevator.
It's the memory management, it's the I don't fucking know, like, it's not my job to know. I don't need to know these things, that's not my job. They don't pay me to know these things. I don't make games. Not on Unreal Engine, anyway. But all I know is that, yeah, Unreal Engine 5 games seem to run like shit. Like, that part seems to be true.
Where is that?
Just, the games just don't seem to run very well on it. Good lord. The frames there were particularly shocking. Hey, Livlin. Still the optimization mod? No. I'm not going to. People, for some reason, do keep asking me about that. I presume because the game is, like, visibly, obviously stuttering. Run's stable enough for me to run with, and that's as much as I'm willing to fiddle. Uber needs to just fix their fucking game. Like, I'm not doing shit myself. Not my job. James. Twat. They got their bag, they're not fixing shit. Probably, I have very low expectations of this game receiving performance fixes. Consequently, I'm not changing my fucking Steam review or my overall viewpoint from just don't buy it. Like, I'm gonna speedrun it because I already paid my too much money for it. But, unless they get off their ass and fix it, don't buy this game. It runs like crap. This is the state the PC port has released in is completely not acceptable in the slightest. I'm honestly surprised it hasn't gotten more of a beating for that in the user reviews. I ran past where I'm supposed to be going anyway. I keep doing that. Say fuck it, everyone has good hardware now, but I, like, do have good hardware, and it still runs like crap. Like, this game runs like crap on everyone's computer. Like, even if you have a supercomputer, it still runs badly. This game doesn't run acceptably on, like, any computer that currently exists. Oof. Yeehaw. Cool, that should save time, because that took like 4 attempts to get the safe open on the last run. Because I am very good at this. Very epic. Why is this in the game? How about we just don't have that be a thing, ever, for any reason? The QTE grabs were simply not necessary. They just don't need to be there. You want cheap too? I mean, the game's got more expensive, so I don't know if that's true. Like, on the user end, the games are more expensive than ever. They seem to run worse than ever. Bonk. Bonk. You come back here. Stop reloading! Asshole! What? No! What? Why did you leave? Come back here. Play the game. He played the game. Why did he leave, though? You're supposed to leave. Fight properly. Scroll my notes before I get to the puzzle this time. It's raining outside. Look, I'm not here to solve the problems with the modern gaming industry or anything so fancy. Like, I don't have the fucking answers. I don't know what's going on. All I know is that right here and right now, Silent Hill 2 Remake is a remake of questionable necessity that kind of flattens down a genre classic into a more palatable form for a modern audience, and also, it runs really fucking badly. So in this way, it is kind of a symbol of, you know, a lot of things that aren't going so great with the modern video games right now. But also, at least the game's not, like, completely awful. You could, in fact, be doing worse. But you could, in fact, have a frame rate higher than 35. You know, that part's not so great. I gotta confess, I am not in love with that part. Alright, so that's, Alright, no. Go away. James, stop doing that. This is why it really sucks when games don't let you choose your target for melee hits. Game, I need to break this wall, but it keeps deciding that, no, I don't want to break this wall, actually. Fucking, why do we make games that do that? Why did we copy that absolute mistake of a fucking design principle from God of War? Fuck off. God of War is a game so fucking bad, it's like ruining other games by proxy. What the fuck? I'm stuck on this guy. Cool, that was 20 seconds lost because the game doesn't let you choose your own melee target. Great mechanic, guys. Really good idea. That's so stupid, dude. That's such an awful, dumbass idea. Maybe I should be blaming Last of Us instead, I don't know. I don't know who to blame. Someone's gotta be blamed for that shit, though. Because, like, both of those games do that thing where you, like, you snap to your target instead of, like, it actually being a range thing where, you know, you can whiff a melee hit if you're pointing in the wrong direction. No, it's got to autocorrect for you, because the game thinks it knows better about what you'd rather be doing. And it's wrong, like, almost all the time. So, I hate that. Quiet you.
James.
Make a video about how I feel about the remake. I was talking about doing that earlier, actually. It's not going to be, like, a big edited thing, because I do not want to spend, like, a month and a half scripting and editing that kind of thing. I don't really feel like it deserves it.
What the hell is that?
Well, what do you know? A stroll in the rain. How romantic.
Maria, what are you talking about?
But I did record myself yapping today for about 30 minutes in a relatively unscripted fashion, and I might try and fashion a video out of that. But I honestly don't know if I'm even going to post that publicly.
Come on.
It may very well stay a Patreon exclusive. I was gonna say, what? I hit the button, right? It'll be a Punchy Rambles video, much like the Metal Gear Master Collection video. Well, actually, that video was scripted. I did actually write a script for that one. Been lied to? House of the Dead Remake is the one I didn't write a script for, but the Metal Gear Collection video, I did write a script for that one. Move, James. You know, if patches are on the table for this game eventually, that would be probably my number 2 fix. Maybe number 3. 3 things that I would love to see addressed in patches for this video game. Number 1, the performance is horrendous, obviously. Like, that's number 1, that's top of the list. The performance in this game is absolutely buttshit, needs resolving immediately. Like, all fucking hands on deck, code red, this game runs like garbage, do something. I do not care what you have to do, but this cannot be allowed to sit the way it is. I'm getting 35 FPS right now. That is fucking embarrassing. Problem number 2 is the fact that picking up items in this game is like doing brain surgery. I don't know why. You need to stand in very exact positions to open doors, pick up health drinks, ammo, whatever. Just, I don't care. Make it bigger, more... I don't fucking care. If it teleports into my hand a bit, I'm not gonna care. Just, it's way too specific right now. Make it less annoying. Figure it out. I'm being demanding right now. I'm being demanding gamer. This is my demanding gamer voice, because I don't give a shit right now. I'm yapping. He's just saying words. And the number 3,
Laura, please.
the number 3 thing is when you skip a cutscene or come out of an event or anything like that. Seriously? James. There it is again. There's the brain surgery fucking me over. Lame. The third thing is that when you skip a cutscene or you come out of some kind of event, the game seems to forget that you're holding forward a lot, and you need to, like, repress forward to start moving again. This is just really annoying. Every time I skip a cutscene, I have to, like, repress W and Shift to start running forward. It doesn't, like, buffer the input at all. Those are the 3 things that I think could be immediately addressed in a patch. Performance, item interactions, and not having to press W constantly to rerun. I don't know why you can't just keep it held down.
Laura.
Do these things, you make me happy. But only me. And I won't stay happy for long. So you must weigh it. You must weigh these things up. Am I truly worth it?
Laura?
I'm not.
Where did she go?
This might be my favorite part of the run. Look at this guy. Look at him. Where's he going? I like how we just follow behind him there, and then we don't even like try to fight him. He's like he was trying to ambush us. He was trying to be sneaky, but I'm just like, nah. Yeah, like, the Metal Gear Master Collection met such a harsh reaction because it was, like, just the PlayStation 1 game with the other two, like, the HD versions in tow, and I'm just like, man, you fucking Metal Gear bastards don't know how good you have it. Like, you guys actually got ports of all the original games, plus some bonuses, in pretty much their original forms, largely untouched. Silent Hill, guys, we don't get shit! You know, we get completely different video games with the same name. I see Konami doing something similar for Silent Hill? I don't know. Because they don't actually have the rights to do that. Konami never had the rights to all the voice acting in the original games, and that would require quite a bit of legal clearance to make work. How many MGS collections are there? There was one for the PS3 360. And now there's the modern one. That's it. There's two. there's two. It's just two. Yep, Silent Hill fans get the Silent Hill HD collection. Emulate Metal Gear Solid 1 or buy on Steam. You see, that's a complex question. Emulating Metal Gear Solid 1 and buying it on Steam are pretty much the same experience, to be perfectly honest with you. If you already know how to emulate, like it's not scary to you, then I cannot in good consciousness recommend you, like, throw, like, what is it, 20 bucks or whatever? On what is essentially a PS1 ROM. I don't think it's stellar value for money in that regard if you already are comfortable with emulating. I just don't think it makes sense to get angry about it as a release. Like, what's the value of this over emulating? It's like, well, it's the original game. Like, it's gonna be an emulator re-release, man. That's like, how else are you expecting them to re-release most PS1 games? Emulation is the added benefit of widescreen patches and 60 FPS. Yeah, but if you use a widescreen patch with Metal Gear Solid, you're a fucking heathen. It reveals things in the scene not meant to be seen clearly. Don't do that. Don't do it. They're 4x3. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. I see you. I'm watching. And I will judge. Seriously, Metal Gear Solid 1, like, the primary thing, its main strong suit, if you ask me, is its sense of cutscene presentation, and I've seen footage of the cutscenes running with the widescreen hack, and they look bad. Don't do that to them. That's really mean. I actually do not know if dodging repeatedly down these stairs is faster. Like, a lot of stairs, yeah, because you get a sort of different animation when running down, but these ones don't. I gotta watch Ezekiel's run, dude. I don't know what I'm doing here. Ezekiel would know. Ezekiel knows everything. He's this big brain in there. Not like me. Tiny. I'm trying to click my fingers. There you go. I'm releasing the tension that has built up from hours of yapping. This streamer just talks and talks and talks. Oh yeah, the Master Collection version of Metal Gear... I forgot about that, actually. The Master Collection version of Metal Gear Solid 1 has, like, a built-in memory card editor, so you can fill a fake memory card with the relevant game saves. You can do this with emulation, but, like, it's a way more manual process. Like, you can fill a virtual memory card full of the relevant save data and then, like, manually edit it, but you gotta do that yourself, whereas the Master Collection has a really nice swish interface for doing it. I filled mine full of Silent Hill data. R sentence. Ezekiel knows everything. Well, he does! Oh, okay. There's a guy there! Go, James, go. Go, James, go. James, go. James, jump in the hole. Go, James, go. Whee! And James, fall. I'm gonna be honest with you. The first time I had played Metal Gear Solid 1 was via the Master Collection, and I was not tremendously fond of it, although I don't think it was the Master Collection's fault. I just don't think I like Metal Gear Solid 1. Sorry. I like Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3. Like, I played Metal Gear Solid 2 again because of the Master Collection. I was like, yeah, this game's still good. I like this game. The main thing that shocked me about Metal Gear Solid 1 is how fast it gives up on being a stealth game. And then when I pointed this out, like when I randomly posted my thoughts to Twitter, which is always a mistake, never do that. People got mad at me for suggesting this. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, why is this like it's just a description of the gameplay flow. Like, when you get to the second disc, the number of human guards left in the game is like 7 total. There's like 3 in the final hangar, and like 3 in the other rooms. Like, that's it. That's all you get. It does become very much like a linear sequence of action set pieces. And that disappointed me, because I don't really like the linear action set piece segment of the game. But like, I had a lot of people either tell me that I was wrong and stupid and playing the game wrong, because no, what the fuck, like, Sneak, bro. That's all MGS is. That 2, I feel like, takes a bit longer before it goes completely off the rail, though. Do you want to open the door or stare at it? What the fuck? Alright, that was interesting. Start with MGS 1 or 3. 1. 1 is a smaller number. Play them in order. Like, okay, I admit this is a do as I say thing, not as I do, because I did not play the Metal Gear Solid games in order. But here's the thing, that was wrong. It was wrong and I didn't have the choice, actually. Like, I played... The first Metal Gear game I played was, 2. And the reason for that is that my dad bought it. I didn't really get a choice in that one. Like, this was like at the time, you know? Why can't I buffer a run? Yeah, like my dad bought Metal Gear Solid 2, so I also played it when it came out, and I hadn't played Metal Gear 1. I was like, well, Dad bought 2, so I'm gonna play it. He kicked me off the PlayStation to play more Metal Gear Solid 2. He didn't kick me off the PlayStation. What he would do is he would sneak into my room at like fucking 2 AM in the morning to play Metal Gear Solid 2, like, next to my head. Like, my room was quite small, so obviously I'd be like awake at 3 AM, at least sitting there, playing his Metal Gear Solid 2 video game, like, while I'm trying to fucking sleep so I can be ready for school in the morning, and I'm like, Dad, fucking take the PS2 out of the room if you want to play, just go, just do it. Like, you have my permission, just stop doing that. But you know what he did instead, actually? He just bought his own PS2. Bro just bought a second PS2 to set it up in the living. Like, he didn't take the PS2 out of my room. He just bought his own. Open the door, James! What are you doing? They still have that PS2, incidentally. They didn't get rid of it. Yeah, like, imagine the unit, like, I was definitely the gamer of the family, you know, like, the games, they were in my room, it was my game, I'm the gamer. But, like, me getting woken up by my dad at, like, fucking 3 AM because he wants to play Metal Gear Solid 2, and I'm like, Dad, you have to stop doing this to me. I'm trying to fucking sleep. You gotta cut that shit out, Dad. I think he, not incorrectly, assumed I might be mad if he, like, just unilaterally took the console out of my room without my permit, because, like, it was my console. Mine! Ow. No, 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 no. Drink a health drink. Oh, God. Now, see, meanwhile, back in the days... This is 5. Back in the days where... Hang on, I have to think about what I'm doing. What? Why is that not working? Hello? Because I'm bad. Am I bad? What am I doing? Smallest weight on left, all over here. Yeah, okay. The fuck? Confusing. You can continue emulating a PC or buy your own PS2. I recommend buying your own PS2. Like, if you want to play a lot of PS2 games, I have a great device for you. I would say the contrary to what that chatter just suggested. That was lame. PS2s are cheap. People seem to have the idea in their head that retro gaming is very expensive. And it kind of is, sometimes. Like, it depends on the game, is the thing. Some of the games are very expensive, but most of them aren't. Hey, what was I saying? I was saying, back in the day where I did not have my own computer, but there was the family computer, you know, like, people didn't have their own computers. We had the family computer. Everyone had the family computer. At one point, I remember being stirred from my slumber, again, at bullshit o'clock, by the distinct sound of gaming occurring from the downstairs living room. And I'm like, who the fuck is up at, like, 3 AM gaming? And also, like, even back in those times, I was a terrible sleeper. So I wake up, go downstairs, being like, what the fuck are you doing? And it's Mum. My mum is playing DX Ball on the family computer till like 3 AM in the morning. And I'm like, what are you doing?
My mother?
My mum. She was gaming. I'm like, you... You know, for as much shit as they gave me over this kind of thing, they were so much worse.
Oh God! Oh God!
Did that count? No. Whole family of gamers. None of them play games anymore. But like they all had the spirit from the get-go. Would a PS2 be hard to maintain? Not really. There's not a lot to maintain. Like either it works or it don't. Again, PS2s are cheap. I'm not gonna lie. Like if you suffer like a major mechanical fault, probably just get a new one. PS2s are like $50. Aha. Didn't get confused on that one, at least. Yeah, it really was the family of games. Because back in those days, the PlayStation 1 and the PlayStation 2, they were consoles for everyone. Everyone gamed on the PlayStation 1 and the PlayStation 2. I've mentioned before that, like, probably the biggest gamer in the family that wasn't me was my nan. She owned all the Tomb Raiders. My copy of Kingdom Hearts 2 is actually hers. Fuck off! Why does that keep happening, dude? Delete this mechanic from the game. Just get rid of it. Problem number 4 to be addressed in patch. Please remove those. They just kind of suck ass. They're not necessary. Get them out of the game.
Disagree.
Riptire.
34 months, wow. That's almost 3 years.
Pog, it is. Riptire, thank you for the 34 months. See, this is... My nan being gamer is how I know that Angel of Darkness was truly horrendous, even from the standards of, like, the average user, you know? Because she owned all the Tomb Raiders, you know, like, she even liked fucking Chronicles, right? Like, no one likes Chronicles, and she's like, Chronicles. I like all the Tomb Raiders. She liked all the Tomb Raiders, and then Angel of Darkness comes out, and she fucking hated it. She didn't finish it. I forget, like, thing is, because you know, she is an older woman, she does not use the same vocabulary, or did not use the same vocabulary to describe video games that, like, I would use. She would not say, it's buggy as fuck. She said, it's no good. It's no good. Just doesn't feel as good. It's no good. That's what she's like. Which I personally think is very funny. Like, that's how she would put it. Ooh, let's go gambling, I win. I haven't told my nan they're re-releasing it. She wouldn't give a shit. she doesn't own a console more modern than the PlayStation 2. She never continued gaming past the PlayStation 2. Don't know what it is, but like she just didn't progress onto the PlayStation 3 and the 360. You know, I don't know, it just didn't stick with it. The rest of my family was also like all of them had a kind of game that they liked playing on the PlayStation 2. But they did not stick with gaming past that point. Can you play on a PS2 using headphones? Yeah, if you plug them into your TV. There's no, like, headphone out on the controller or anything, though. Like, my sister liked platformers, my mum liked puzzle games, and rhythm games, actually. She was actually pretty good at Guitar Hero. Like, not as good as me, son with rhythm game brain rot. But she, like, got all the way up to hard mode. Like, that is a not inconsiderable amount of time to invest into the funny button-pushing game. You know, this is a very personal thing, actually, but one of the reasons I have a lifelong hatred of gacha game mechanics, etc., is that my mum went through a phase of being hopelessly addicted to Farmville. It wasn't even Farmville, though. It was like a not quite, it was like a cafe Farmville. It was like slightly different. But she went through a phase of being like hopelessly addicted to that kind of game. I don't think she ever spent any money on it, thank God. Where the fuck am I? I don't think she ever spent any money on it, but we definitely hit a point where she was obviously like basing her life schedule on it. And like it hit a point where she was like delaying going to stuff that she needed to be going to because she was like, oh, you know, 20 more minutes and then the shit's gonna be done. And it reached a point where I was like, Mum, this has to stop. And I think that like really snapped her out of it because like I'm the big gamer of the family, so when even I was like, this is worrying. Like you have to stop. Like this is concerning. That is not good for you at all. And it really seemed like she just completely snapped out of it and was like, fuck, you're right. We gotta no, get rid of this. And she completely dropped it, just like that. Immediately, and like she was like, no, this, yeah, you're right, this is fucking dreadful, what the fuck am I doing? So, stopped that before it got really bad. To my knowledge, the only game she plays nowadays, I think she, like, plays Words with Friends on the phone. Fair enough. Yeah, this is one of the reasons I have a lifelong hatred of that whole style of game. This is context for why I am so incredibly dismissive about it and mean. Is because I have seen firsthand what it does to people. Like, it was, no exaggeration, destroying her fucking life. Unfortunately, it was brief. It was a brief stint before she, like, snapped out of it when I was like, you know, I gave her a little push to snap out of it by being like, this is really bad and it's worrying me. And I can sit there and grind for many, many hours, but what you're doing is not normal, like, even by the standards of gamers. So, like, it didn't have, like, long-lasting consequence or anything, but, like, I saw the abyss, you know? That did not hit right at all. That was way too far left. Oh, I got him. He's dead. I killed him. I killed the guy. Alright. It's okay. That was a pretty good fight, actually. Why was that so good? It was fast. Ugh, map. I got jump scared by the map. I was like, why is map? Why map? Yeah, fortunately, the early days of, like, the Facebook social games, like Farmville and whatever the cafe thing my mum was playing, I never worked it out. This was before they'd, like, really perfected the art of, like, the evil free-to-play game scam. Like, the gacha game wasn't a prevalent business model yet, so, avoided a complete ruinous circumstance owing to the relative immaturity of the scam, you know? It's like, I think about, oh man, if You know, if the gacha games were in prominence at the time, if they were in vogue, that could have been really bad. Because as is, it just kind of, like, fucked up her social life for, I don't know, half a year or something. She started basing her schedule around it. But at least it wasn't, like, a huge amount of money down the shitter. Could be worse! Me when Farmville. Yeah, it's very on purpose, all of that. It's crafted to manipulate. I remember I had a run-in with the fucking CEO of Zynga on Twitter when I was, like, casually tweeting about this experience. And he got all, like, tech bro on me about it. It's like, interesting. Does your mother have a past history with this kind of thing? And I was like, the things I want to say to you, man, would get me banned off this website. Like, you are an awful person, your business model is based on exploiting glitches in human psychology. I think you deserve the absolute worst in life. That was one of the highlights of my Twitter experience, is that I got to tell the CEO of Zynga that he's a terrible person and contributes nothing of value to society. But they're not capable of self-reflection, either. Ow. Yeah, that kind of person just does not experience self-reflection in, like, any meaningful capacity. They're not capable of it. Because you don't craft the kind of things that Zynga made without, you know, some degree of, like, sociopathy behind it. I can't pronounce words. Anyway, how about this speedrun? This is going pretty well so far. Ah, push the thing. Never mind, I forgot to push the thing. It's bad, actually. Okay, James, you can stop pushing the thing now. Truly, I do my best work when I'm just rambling. I feel like that's happened too much. I hit up. I hit up. I hit up. You are a liar! Hey, Samurai Chameleon. James, go in the hole! Ooh, whoa! health drinks look like cough syrup, James on that lean. See, the health drink, I'm actually surprised they kept it in the remake, because health drinks are, like, quite Japanese in nature. Like, you can get things like that in Japan. You get little bottles that look kind of brown, and you drink them, and they taste like being punched in the throat, but they're supposed to help with hangovers or something. I'm not making this up, this is real. There's like a whole little industry. Healthy drinks. But doesn't really like the health drinks, when you think of a health drink in the West, you probably think more of like a smoothie or something. Or kombucha, which is awful. Yeah, these games are set in America, and yet they've got very Japanese health drinks, like, all over the place. Again, I'm surprised they kept it for the remake. I hit dog! Fucking goddammit! Hey, quick question. In D2, how do you skip the cutscenes? Kinda random, but you press B twice. I think you press B twice. Ah, running into walls. The fact you're using emulator, you should just be able to skip cutscenes by pressing B twice, though. I think it's B twice. Maybe it's Y. Press every button multiple times. I don't remember what button it is. Point is, it's not start, though. It's like, it's not the intuitive thing. Owned. I am also owned. Aw, James, you're worthless. You guys like how I was, like, clearly trying to grab it from that side and James slowly navigated to the wrong side? That's a classic. Context-sensitive inputs. I'm a context-sensitive streamer. Where am I going? This way. They'll never get me. They just can't deal with my moves. Okay, that guy might have got me if I didn't press the button, but means they don't get me. They'll never get me. Never. Yeah, the ampules are gone now because no inventory. They made health items one button, and there's not a great number of ways you can distinguish between press and... It's either press and hold. Only the two. It's a little disappointing that, like, idiosyncrasies from the original game are just kind of missing in service to, like, modern formatting changes. Like, you can do goofy... Like, it's the Great Knife I'm thinking of primarily. Like, the Great Knife is just gone as a combat option in this game because you can't select melee weapons. You know, unless it's the chainsaw for some reason. They implemented it for the chainsaw, but not for anything else. Figure that out. And I find that peculiar. I pressed right click to exit the menu, and it was like, no you didn't, and I'm like, yes I did, I swear I did, I can prove it, I have receipts, I have the evidence, listen to the clicking of my keyboard, it's very loud! The Great Knife was silly, but like, you know, it was a situationally effective combat option, and it let you, you know, it represent the weight of James's guilt, but you can like play it, rather than it being a canned set piece. Which I think is a little more interactive. You know, the Great Knife does control like shit, but the whole point is that it controls like shit, which limits its use in combat, and also it like heightens the story. Because now it controls like shit for an aesthetic purpose. But we can't have any of that now, can we? Where do you think you're going? Think this is a fucking joke? Jodai. Yeah, this weird combat challenge segment might be one of the weakest parts of the game in Microcosm. I just don't get it. Like, what are we doing here? Less of that, please. No, dude. Ow. Like, it's not like a fatally bad segment or anything, I just... Much like the Silent Hill 2 remake in general, I feel like it exists to fill space. It's filler. It's definitely filler. Like, it makes this segment longer, that's it. That's the whole reason it's there. A perplexing specification. Oh, it comes from behind. Whoops. But it makes the game longer, so throw it in. No, I'm not dead center. This is cringe. That is not geometry. Wouldn't mind a Silent Hill 3 kind of thing. I love Silent Hill 3, but there are things that could have been improved. I would play a Silent Hill 3 remake because I would play pretty much anything that comes out of the front. You know, I'm part of the problem here. I'm part of the problem. I'm bound by the whims of the viewing audience. Everyone wants to see it, but like, I don't want them to remake Silent Hill 3, especially not like this. Like, I don't think these remakes are bad, but they're kind of a crime against art. Like, Silent Hill 2 Remake is a pretty good product, but it's not good art. Now this, I'm pretty sure. Dashing down is faster. And I don't know, I don't want every classic survival horror game I like to turn into a generic over-the-shoulder third-person shooter. I just don't want that, man. Quick, to the accessibility menu. I should probably enable high contrast mode earlier than that.
There you are!
Don't you fucking dare teleport from me. Don't you fucking dare I was waiting for that shit. You were gonna teleport. You were gonna teleport, you little shit. You think I didn't see? You think I didn't notice?
And then you just curl up and die. And it's gonna feel great. Just like before. You know I'll find you.
Whoa! Ah, that missed. That did not find its mark. I don't know if that did either, actually. That was sloppy. I should have just swapped way earlier. I was trying to reload. I don't know why. Bad idea. Weapon reloading in this game takes way too long. You prefer this fight to the original fight with Eddie? I really do like that fight. Like, this is one of the few things about the remake that you will hear me espouse unanimous positivity about in a way that's very unlike me. I think the new Eddie fight fucking rocks. It's... You're trying to fight this surprisingly fast guy, this kind of unhinged guy with a powerful revolver darting in and out of the fucking mist while he taunts you. The atmosphere is, like, intense. It's, like, an interesting fight because it plays with audio in ways. Like, you have to track him with sound if you're not cheating by using the accessibility options like that. It's really fucking cool. I love the Remake Eddie fight. Like, that's high-quality gaming. That's really good. It's my favorite fight in the game by a mile. Like, I especially like how it contrasts with, like, the various, like, meat bag enemies, you know? Like, the various, otherworld bosses, the monsters, they're like big bags of flesh. So they don't really react that much to getting shot, you know? Your hit reactions are kind of a bit unclear. This isn't a criticism, it's like, it's just what they're like. Eddie contrasts this. He doesn't actually have that much health. Like, he does not take that many hits to kill. Because, you know, he's a regular guy. He's just a guy. He's not like a big flesh monster, he's just a guy. He doesn't take anywhere near as many shots to kill. But you gotta track him through the mist and using the sound, the clinkling overhead, and then the bags start moving and shit, so your cover is shifting dynamically and he starts to take more open fire at you. It's good. It's a really good boss fight. I think that's very quality. Easily, I think, like, the highlight of the entire game is that fight. He loves it. He loves it, chat. It's a shame that this fucking run turns on high contrast mode and undermines it all by letting you see him so clearly in plain red through the... makes me... My game design! Don't turn it on then, but everyone else is doing it. I don't want to lose time. Everyone else is doing it. Mom, everyone else is doing it. Everyone else is cool. Everyone else has the new toy. What do you mean I don't get to play with the toy?
Yeah, you did.
God damn it. I know. I'm cringe. I'm sorry. My fault. I had to scroll my notes.
Laura.
Gotta be somewhere.
Do you feel the abstract daddy fight is an improvement? I don't really like framing it as an improvement because they're two fundamentally very different games, so it's like, is it really an improvement if you just create something completely different and smack it where the original was? However, the abstract daddy fight in the original is probably my least favorite fight in the original game. It's like a guy in a room. Cool. And it's a room that's like a little small for what it is. Like, it's a cool room, but like the abstract daddy is a little big, and the room's a little small. So, like, yeah, I don't know, maybe I do think the abstract daddy fight in the remake is better, quote unquote. Maybe I do think that. I don't disagree that I think it's like an interesting fight unto itself, at least. Like, it tracks through. There's a bit too much walking for my... Once I figured out you don't actually have to fight it in its various phases, it got a bit less interesting to me because it turns out, oh, you can just kind of walk past half of it. But it's alright. The main decision I think enhances the Abstract Daddy fight is not really anything to do with the fight itself, it's the fact that Abstract Daddy stays a unique boss enemy. Like, in the original, they start reusing the Abstract Daddy for the end game here. Like, the Abstract Daddy starts appearing all over the place in the hospital. In the hotel, rather, not the hospital. Excuse me. And that really, like, devalues it. Devalues the symbolism and the gravitas of the subject matter. Because when there's, like, fucking 14 of them wandering around the place, it feels less like, you know, a unique, impactful encounter and just some random dude you had to kill to get past that one segment of the game. Whereas in the remake, Abstract Daddy is used for that boss fight, and that boss fight only. Which kind of makes it feel more special. And, you know, given that it's supposed to be like a major character moment, it makes sense that it would be special. I think that decision is very logical. I think that's a decision that improves the story in a way. See, I can be nice. If there's one aspect of Silent Hill 2 Remake that I do think is, generally speaking, quote-unquote, improved, it would be the boss fights. Ow. It's felt better in the OG? Perhaps, yeah. I think the tension of, like, losing your equipment is just stronger in the OG for reasons I struggle to articulate. And also, I fucking hate these enemies. Mandarins suck balls. Like, okay, I think it's kind of clever that if you're following the path in a natural fashion rather than, like, doing the skip where we go straight... Well, it's not really a skip, but, you know, breaking the intended sequence, quote-unquote, to go straight down to the basement, which is nice that they even allow you to do. It makes you, you know, fight one of these guys as, like, a pseudo-boss fight first, and then you get into the basement and, oh shit, I have none of my weapons, and there's multiple of them now. That's a little, you know, that generates some tension. That's a little, oh damn, the situation has become serious. However, the effect ends up kind of blunted on me by the fact that I fucking hate the Mandarin enemies. They're really annoying. I didn't pick up the valve. I was wondering why I didn't have to menu to use the key. Because I didn't get the valve. No, don't. You can't use a videotape with... What are you doing? Like, we can go around all day, like, doing point-by-point comparisons of, like, individual segments that the, you know... do you prefer this bit of the remake, or that thing of the remake, blah blah blah. That kind of thing. To me, it's all sort of, like, irrelevant, because fundamentally they're just completely different games in the end. Some elements of it end up being well executed, some similar elements end up being less well executed on the retread. But ultimately, they're two very different games with two very different, like, pacing styles. So some bits suffer, some bits gain. If the original were, like, more widely available and not kind of proxy disrespected by being remade in a format that kind of implicitly disregards the entire original, like, pacing of the story, I might not be so harsh towards it. But we don't live in that universe, we live in a different one. Frames per second to be capped at 120, but you don't understand why you play on 60 FPS? Well, then you're fine. It's a maximum. I think it's just poorly worded. We might need to change that. It's more about not going above 120. Like, your frames have to be less than 120. Ouch. Because we don't want the game to turn into, like, a pay-to-win fest where, you know, make computer go faster, mean you get more speed, you know, we don't want that. We're avoiding that. That's the reason why that rule exists. Ah. It isn't you need to get 120 FPS. You can play at 30 if you want. What? Bruh. Grab QTEs fucking suck. Get me out of here. Was an RE2 remake, the one with the knife does more damage at higher FPS? It hits more frequently at higher FPS. So if you have, like, a very high frame rate, you can just destroy your knife in one swing. Because it will hit, like, 10 trillion times a second and just buzzsaw through whatever you hit. So they had to put some limits on that, otherwise it would become, like, a very pay-to-win situation. We wanted to preempt that from happening. So we just immediately out the gate are like, 120 and no more. You can do anything below 120, but 120 and no more. Because I'm not getting fucking 120. I can't even get consistent 60 off this fucking game. Because the performance is dreadful. By and large, though, it isn't really a problem, fortunately. The rule is there, you know, in, like, as a form of future-proofing, that we don't have to, like, re-evaluate everything if someone, like, builds bigger computer and accelerates the arm rate. Because right now, no one can get consistently above fucking 90. Has Remake found to do anything specific in this game? Yes, it has been determined that if your frame rate is higher, you lose time. This game might actually be pay to lose instead. If you run the entire, like, opening gambit from the start of the game to using the auto parts key, apparently if you play at 120 FPS, you actually lose time. No, game, you're so bad. I'm amazed it took that long for him to hit me. Whereas 60 FPS and 30 FPS show negligible difference, it doesn't seem to matter. But if you want to run at 120, it actually seems like you lose time for doing that, so... don't. Don't do that. Just don't. You're thinking of something right now, I'm sure. Don't. No thoughts. I demand no thoughts on this stream. Like, overall in this run, I think my average FPS has been like fucking 45, so... Melee only final wife possible? Yeah, definitely. Just hit him. I've done it. I did it with the chainsaw, I grant you, but it can be done with the pipe and other stuff. There is a category on the leaderboard for, like, melee only. People tend to run hard mode melee only. I'm not running hard mode melee only because I cannot be bothered. I probably took too long to skip that. Blessed load removed. Ooh. Challengers are not my thing. I mean, I did a melee only playthrough once. But I don't really want to do, like, hard mode melee only runs, like as a speed run. I do challenge runs from time to time, but I prefer it when they're, like, just kind of one and done. Like, I don't know. I don't know what it is about the melee only that doesn't, like, tickle my fancy with this game. I guess it's because I like to answer the question of, like, can it even be done, you know? Like, it's something that sounds impossible, can it be done? But, like, can you beat Silent Hill 2 Remake with only a melee weapon? Yes, obviously. There's an achievement for it. It's not so exciting when you put it that way. Also, I think the main reason people are running melee only is because they don't want to deal with bullet management, and that's kind of funny. Let's make the game harder for ourselves, but at least we don't have to manage ammo. I respect that. I'm not hating, I just think that's funny. I think it's a funny reason to do that. Like answering the question of probability, but not running that stuff 20 times. Why are we being snarky? I have to answer questions 20 times over anyway, no matter what I do. There is no doubt in my mind that it is very possible. Why I made combat such a big focus of this game? Well, they made it longer in general. As in, I like to answer, is it possible to beat someone using only X but not running that as a category? Yeah, generally. I like it, like, I enjoyed making the, you know, the Resident Evil, can you beat it without pressing the forward button? That's a really silly question with an interesting answer. What the fuck am I doing? I'm bad at this game. But it wouldn't make an entertaining speedrun. Despite people's insistence, you know? You're gonna like improve the runtime? Hell no, dude, that'd be fucking boring. It was funny to do once and no more. I'm noticing something interesting. I have no ammo. Can you though? Yes. I made a video about it. James, what are you doing? James, what are you doing? Ah, double strike. Ow. Oh, I win. They're dead.
What do you want, James? I don't want anything.
You will give me an egg.
Just go home.
You will give me an egg.
I'm disgusted. Between the disease and the drugs, I look like a monster. Oh, what are you looking at? Get the hell out of here. Leave me alone already. I'm no use to anyone.
This doesn't feel fast. I'm not sure. I think I'm being debated by caution animation.
It'd be easier if you just told me. Because the hospital's making it for me.
Don't worry about that.
Why are you still here? I told you to go. Are you dead? Don't come back.
Yeah, damn, that was very slow. Is it slower to do that when you're in caution? Or, like, is it because... I did spend, like, the first bit of the hallway reloading the shotgun. Yeah, that did not feel very fast. Odd. Maybe it's scams. Maybe that shit is scams if you're on caution. Not coming into this fight with the greatest time possible, I can tell you that for free. Rude. What? What the fuck is happening? Ow, other than me getting my ass beat. She didn't even come down. What a bitch. Ah, she's doing that thing where she doesn't play the game, man. Ah, she's doing that thing where she doesn't play the game. Okay, I'll just, like, wait. When you're ready. Please fire the gun when the button is pressed, not when you feel like it. That was bad. And it wasn't my fault. There's kind of nothing you can do if she decides not to play the game. Epic. Thanks, game. That was really necessary. The fuck... The moth ate the shot, dude. God damn it. Well, it's still PB by 2.5 minutes, but yeah, you can just randomly lose fucking gobs of time on Mary Phase 2 if she decides not to play the game. Very epic boss fight design. That's one of the aspects that's worse. Both Flesh Slips and Mary have a random chance of just choosing not to play the game. Still, 2 of 5.
It's a world record!
Ah, so was it like 3-minute PB into nearly 3-minute PB?